Holy hell. Okay, so just about 20 minutes ago, the Boston Bruins issued a statement update on Mitch Miller. Now, I had not made any videos about Mitch Miller in the entire thing because I frankly felt like I would just be repeating myself from things that we had said a year ago when he was initially rescinded by the Arizona Coyotes. But it turns out that the Bruins are going to go out there and do the same. Boston Bruins president Cam Neely announced today, November 6th, that the Bruins will part ways with Mitch Miller. Actually, let's zoom in. Can we do that? It makes it easier for the video format to see it. Oh no, that's too big. Let's go back one more. There you go. That's a little bit better. Today, the Bruins have announced that they're deciding to part ways with Miller, effective immediately. I'm just going to read this the way that Cam Neely wrote it out. The decision to sign this young man was made after careful consideration of the facts as we were aware of them. That at 14 years old, he made a poor decision that led to a juvenile conviction. We understood this to be an isolated incident, and that he had taken meaningful action to reform and was committed to ongoing personal development. Based on that understanding, we offered him a contract. Based on new information, we believe it is the best decision at this time to rescind the opportunity for Mitch Miller to represent the Bruins. We hope that he continues to work with professionals and programs to further his education and personal growth. We owe it to our fans, players, staff, partners, and community to make sure that our practices and protocols are in keeping with the ethos, that's a good word, that we demand from ourselves and as an organization. As such, we will be reevaluating our internal process for vetting individuals who wish to earn the privilege of playing in the NHL for Boston. We are sorry that this decision has overshadowed the incredible work the members of our organization do to support diversity and inclusion efforts. We will continue to stand against bullying and racism in all of its forms. To Isaiah and his family, my deepest apologies if this signing made you and your other victims feel unseen and unheard. We apologize for the deep hurt and impact we have caused. Finally, as a father, I think there is a lesson to be learned here for other young people. Be mindful of careless behaviors and going with the group mentality of hurting others. The repercussions can be felt for a lifetime. Now, I'm just gonna say this. I'm interested in hearing what exactly it was that the new information went out there and said. Because pretty much, aside from Isaiah Myers-Crothers' mother going out there and making a few statements as to updates on the apologies, etc., that in which were not there, or not there, but like, it was there, but only on social media a week prior to the signing, something like that, not necessarily the type of apology that I think really hits home and brings the point home that the guy is really remorseful over what he did. But other than new information, I feel like a lot of the things that people had been talking about were just rehashed things from a year ago. And as a result, I kind of wonder, what was the Boston Bruins' overall thing that they were thinking about when it came to signing this guy in the first place? It's not that people don't deserve second chances. It's that people deserve second chances when they're willing to accept their faults and learn to grow from it. This isolated incident, quote-unquote, and the way that Miller and his party were talking about it made it seem like it's just more of an obstacle for him and his hockey-playing career, rather than an absolutely evil set of events that he would partake in over the span of years, not an isolated incident. This whole thing could have and should have been avoided from the first place, but for Boston, it's crazy to think that they felt the need to sign this guy and go through this entire social media fiasco once again and actually feel like they came out on top. After Miller was signed initially, the first thing that they did was they made a press conference and they talked a lot about reforming, and one of the executives, I forgot which one it was, said, oh, if there are any problems, I think it was Don Sweeney actually, if there are any problems, then I'm going to be the one who drives him back to the airport myself. And it's like, what kind of thought process do you have to exhibit when you sign a guy and the first thing that you have to talk about over and over and over again is his terrible history as a bully, how unremorseful he seems to be, and we don't know anything about this guy? Like, I know for some people that pay attention to the scouts and everything, like, oh, he's a defenseman, he scored a lot of points in the USHL, he had an NCAA commitment that was turned down because of this incident, not incident, but this entire thing that happened. Like, how did the Bruins feel like this was the right course of action? Even the players, Bergeron, Marchand, they all went out there and said, yeah, no, like, that doesn't stand. This signing doesn't stand for what we believe in as an organization. I think it was Marchand who said that Miller's signing, this is a gift. absolute gift, and it's one that you could say is absolutely not deserved at the same time. Now, Marchand didn't say that last part, I kind of filled it in myself there, but the Boston Bruins are departing ways with Mitch Miller, and honestly, until we see some actual change, any reason to believe that there is a different person inside that body than there was not even years ago when they were 14 years old, but from this week, from 2 weeks ago, not just apologizing to the guy for the first time on Snapchat, but going out there and actually showing change. I know his agent came out and said, oh, Mitch has been volunteering with all these organizations, etc. Look at how much reform has been going on here. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, no, he was supposed to do that. He was required to do that because it was a court-mandated volunteering session, and he was in the court process because of this juvenile conviction. It does not make sense. It was not worth it for the Bruins to sign him in the first place, and now they're departing ways. Social media is going out there and holding people accountable. So for Boston, they're departing ways. It's tough to really go out there and say what the future holds for Mitch Miller. I mean, I think the best we could do is just agree with what is said here. We hope that Miller continues to work with professionals and programs to further his education and personal growth. I don't really know if there's any National Hockey League playing opportunities that are on the horizon here ever for this guy. I mean, Gary Bettman went out there and said that the league was not consulted when he was signed in the first place and everything, so who knows what the future holds for Mitch Miller, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be a part of the Bruins organization. Todd of the Consular thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.